to my next video. This week I am going to be doing my makeup because I got a brand new palette. I'm so excited. I got it from BoxyCharm's pop-up store, and it is the Huda Beauty, my southern y'all, Huda Beauty Pastels Mint, and I have been obsessed with this since I saw the e.l.f. palette, and it is always sold out. It is always sold out. I cannot find it, and so I saw this on the pop-up store and I got it, and I am so excited. I don't even know if this will look good. I mean, honestly, on me at least. I might have to mix it. I always find the light, I mean, look at me, I'm very pasty. So I'm a little worried that I'm gonna look washed out. So I might supplement kind of the darker tones. I might supplement, we'll see how what I think. But I might supplement a little bit of the dark because as you can see, it doesn't have like a dark that I typically do in my crease. So I think I might supplement a little bit of the darker tones from my Morphe Nikita palette, which is, I mean, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. It just, I mean, it's so pretty. I went to Ulta, I guess this was a couple months ago, on the way to a friend's house because I just needed like mascara and eyeshadow primer, and they had this one. Oh, my dryer's done. Awesome. They had the Nikita on the same display as the Lisa Frank, and I'm a 90s kid, so I had to buy both. I might supplement from this actually. Now that I'm looking at the greens, like look at those greens, like that might be better. Oh yeah. Hold on, Boo Bear. Coco's in my lap too. This is Coco. Say hi, Coco. She wants to sit in my lap, but she doesn't like sitting in my lap in my makeup chair because it's not like nice and cushy. It's like a normal chair, so we'll see how long she lasts. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna try this mint green look. I'm really excited about it. My friend Kylie, that's been on a couple episodes, or videos, I don't, do you call it episodes? I'm not, but yeah, so she actually, wants to get into makeup. I'm fairly decent at it. I'm not Michaela, like I'm not gonna be like a cut crease with a thing. It's never gonna be me. And I know that, and that's okay. But she wants, when Wicked comes to town in the summer, she wants to do kind of a green eyeshadow look. You know, because one of the characters is the Wicked Witch of the West, and she's green. So I'm gonna try to practice that, but I'm gonna use my mint green palette because I'm really excited. Okay, so I've already done all my skincare. So what is my skincare? I did in my last video. Eye stuff, I change it. I buy what's on sale or like what comes in my BoxyCharm. Some work better than others for sure. Like this is a good one. I started out using the under eye caffeine creams or rollers from Garnier, which I still, like if it's on sale, I'll still get it. But like this one was on sale. I got it at Target. It was good. Really your skin just needs moisture. It just needs moisture, and if you have dark under eyes, the little bit of caffeine. But you have to be careful because the caffeine kind of dries your eyes out. So one of my friends, when she was a new mom, she was like, I got one of those caffeine rollers and my skin literally started peeling. And I was like, stop using it. I was like, you just need moisture. So be careful with some of the plumpings, but I've never had an issue with it. And so I'll use one in the morning that has caffeine in it. My last BoxyCharm had some sort of eye cream, you know, morning, daytime eye cream, so I'll be using that next because I have it. And then I have melasma. A lot of women do, no shame in it. So this is an old bottle. It's a Skin Cuticles discoloration corrector. So, I mean, you can kind of see, it's gotten a lot better, but you can kind of see it's a little, basically it is excess produce of melanin. I'm not good at pronouncing words, and I'm drinking wine while I'm doing this, so please don't judge me. It's when your skin produces excess pigment where it's not supposed to. So a lot of women, especially if you're lighter skinned, you take birth control, it's a side effect, and it can actually happen to pregnant women too. But you see how like this is a scar. So it works on scars too. This is an acne scar. Weird, I had a pimple and then I got a sunburn and then it healed like that and it's permanent. So I put this on it and I don't even know, but it works really well on if you just have the dark circles. It's supposed to work on any skin tone. I got this from the dermatologist. And then I also did my prep earlier. I used the Urban Decay Quick Fix. I say it every video. I used to use the full Urban Decay system where I did this one, and then I used the Urban Decay Naked Foundation. And then now it's only sold online and they never have my shade, which is pasty. I mean, and then I use sunblock. Again, this is a great one. My dermatologist said I need to use one that has zinc oxide in it because that helps if you have melasma. But this one, you can get at Target for like $4 or $5. It lasts forever. It's like 4 ounces, which is a lot for a beauty product. And so I use this. It's inexpensive. Eucerin is really good if you have sensitive skin. It's made for the eczema and psoriasis. So, what does it say? Yeah, dermatologist recommended. I mean, this is a good one if you don't want to spend like $40, $50 on a sunblock, which the one my dermatologist sells, the skin cuticle ones, is like $50 for a 2-ounce bottle. So, I mean, $5, it works. I go to the dermatologist like every 6 months to check out on my melasma, and she's just like, do whatever, it looks a lot better, do whatever you're doing, and I'm using this. So that's all my prep, right? So the next step I'm gonna do is, which I've said before, eye potion. You always want to put, whether you use foundation or, like, you can use your foundation. If you're out of this, you can use your foundation. You always want to put something down on your eyelid before you put your eyeshadow, because especially if you have oily skin like I do, that's how you get the crease. It's the worst. I remember college and I would be in the bathroom with my fingers just like, oh, please. I'm like, there's a cute boy in my next class, oh my God. And I mean, so one of my friends told me about this. I've been using it ever since and it's great. And it's part of the Urban Decay, which I am a big stan of. They do not sponsor me. Maybe one day. Okay, so my makeup mirror is like right here. So I'm gonna try to look at this more. I'm getting better. I'm gonna try to look at the camera more, but my makeup mirror is like right below. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. So I just put it, oh, I didn't even turn this on. Which I read a meme. I didn't have a makeup mirror until after college. Like, I did my makeup sitting on my floor since high school, sitting when I was allowed to wear makeup, because strict parents who don't think they were strict. That's the hilarious part of that. But I would just do my makeup like sitting on the floor, crisscross style. I closed this wrong. In the mirror. And I read a meme, it's like, any girl that did that can fight, don't mess with her. And I was like, you're not entirely wrong. Like, I would lose the fight, but. Okay, So I actually did get new brushes too. So I got these in my last Boxy Charms. They're all Valentine's Day because it was February, but they're a pretty good set. I said last time, these are the brushes I use. I have several brush sets, but I always end up using my Travel Sephora one because I just don't like the long brush. Like I don't. So you can see this is the Morphe one that I have, and then this is the one that I got, which is, let's see, Glamoury? I'm terrible at mispronouncing names. I don't mean offense to, I'm just bad at it. If I ever have a talk show, it's gonna be like a 30-minute before I interview somebody, I'm gonna be like, how do you pronounce their name? No, we need to practice. How do you pronounce their name? So this one is actually shorter, so I've been using these. I like them. And they're cute. They're like, they have little hearts in them. Okay, so this has dried now that I've been talking to y'all about nonsense. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is with this Lisa Frank palette, and any kind of palette you have, I'm going to use this shade, and I'm gonna put it all over. So this is shade Princess Pearls. But any kind of light, you know, beige works. Or whatever matches your skin. Let me clarify. Whatever matches your skin tone. Yes. Because this gives, we've put the eye potion down, it's a cream, and I like to use powder. So a lot of people say cream on cream, powder on powder, which is true, and I use that a lot. But for eyeshadows, I use a lot of powders, but I use a cream primer. The trick to that is I let it kind of sit and dry, which is why I was talking to y'all before I started doing this. So I am using Princess Pearls, and I'm just gonna put it all over each eye. And what this does is it gives your eyeshadow a good base to blend into, right? Because it's all about the blending. You don't want a harsh line unless that's your intent. I mean, there are makeup looks with like really like sharp lines, but if that's not your intent, this gives you a good blending base. And if you don't have, this is also good. Do this anyways, whether you put the primer down or not. If you don't put primer in your eyes, this is a good step to do to start because it also is kind of a primer. Okay, got my color switch thing. Tap that out. So next I'm gonna do my crease. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the dark at the slash and then into the crease on both sides. Okay, so because I'm using, I want the bright colors, the light colors, to be the mints. So greens are actually very hard to match. I'm an interior designer professionally. Like, I have 6 subscribers right now. YouTube's not paying me anything, obviously. But greens are really hard, so you want to make sure the tones in your greens match. So what do I mean by that? You see, mint greens have a lot of blue undertones, right? So theoretically, if I wanted to, I could use this navy. I just stuck my pinky in the white. I could use the navy and then put the mints over it, and it wouldn't look bad, right? But it would be, the blue would be dominating. So what I'm gonna do is kind of hold this up for comparison so you can kind of see how like that looks crazy, because this has a lot of yellow in it and this has a lot of blue in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this color, which is the Saturn Sunday. How do you get the job naming these? Saturn Sunday? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna use Saturn Sunday because it looks like it's the same like bluish tone of green as this mint palette, but it's not too yellow. So that'll be a good What am I looking for? This one. Okay, so I'm gonna go, and I'm using my little stubby brush. I love him. I go, kind of, I'm gonna put it, like I said, lash and inside. And I just kind of do it loose, not perfect, because we're gonna take this guy and blend it out, right? So, just putting it in there. And I always build, right? You want to build. Like, I know some girls, whew, trust the process. I know some girls get in there with their brushes and are like, and they get a lot and they load it in. I don't do that. I like to take my time and kind of do a subtle build. So I just kind of keep reapplying, and I try to keep it as even as possible, right? You want to make sure it's even, because when it blends out, it'll be even then. Which, I mean, honestly though, like, some of y'all are like, oh my gosh, what if I can't get it even? That is the beauty of those giant lashes, is they kind of cover it when your eyes are open. People only notice when you blink. So I'm just gonna do a little more. I don't want to do a super crazy eye today. I just want to make it kind of, I mean, I'm doing green, so it's gonna look a little crazier than a neutral, but whatever. Okay, do my color changer, and then I'm gonna blend this out. And I really do, I've never used the Huda before. Huda, yeah. So I'm excited to try those, but I do love, especially for the price, the Morphe brand, because it's very pigmented and it goes on really nicely, but also it blends so well, right? Like it blends. I mean, look at that. That is blended so well. So you can see I have more on this side than this side, so I'm gonna add a little more to this side. See, oh yeah, there we go. And then I'm also gonna do a little more on the brow bone, because it looks like I got more on this one. That's my brow bone. My eye, this is where my bone is, and then my eyebrows are up here, so I don't know what to do with that. So I'm just gonna blend that out a little more. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's pretty even. And we can always do touch-ups. So that looks pretty good. Oh, I sound like a Valley girl. Okay, always clean your brushes. Okay, so next I'm gonna take the brush that I applied my base with, do the color swap. There's so many good options. Ooh, I don't know which one to do. I might try this one. I'm gonna try this one. We'll see how it looks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this guy and I'm gonna put it here and blend it in. Oh my gosh. It's so pigmented. It is, oh my gosh. It is. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so nice. Oh my goodness. I like the Huda. Oh my gosh. It's so pigmented. I like didn't even really load my brush up that much. Like but oh, that is good quality. That is good quality eyeshadow. Oh my goodness. As someone who is an older millennial, I grew up using drugstore. There's nothing wrong with drugstore. There's not. But you know, when you get those, the Almay ones that had the color, you know, if you have blue eyes, use this palette. If you have this, use this. Those were so not pigmented. So you had to get in there with your brush and like, to even see it. So this is like, I barely tapped my brush into this, and this is what was left. And it is, I mean, it's really pretty. I feel like I look crazy because I don't usually wear like colored eyeshadow like this, but it's really fun. So I'm just gonna blend this out. And then I am actually going to go back with the darker and add just a little more. So I'm going back on my Lisa Frank palette and doing Saturn Sunday again. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more of the darkness. That way it kind of pops. Because right now I feel like I'm washed out. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And then we're gonna reblend. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Oh, that'll be nice. Oh yeah. And then, yeah, that just, I mean, it's so subtle, but I like it better. Okay. Cool, awesome. Okay, so next I'm gonna do is, because I'm using kind of these bluies colors, and y'all, like, you can't even, I mean, I used so little of it, and this is the result. Great quality, great quality. I've never bought one of that brand before, but it's so good. Okay, next one I'm gonna do, I don't do cut creases. I don't know how to do them. I can try one day if y'all wanna see like a makeup fail video. That'd be fun to do. But I love that shade. So I'm just gonna try to like tap, got a text message. I'm just gonna try to tap it over to add some sparkle. I know some girls, they like do all this and then they'll do that very precise cut crease and then they tap the glitter on, and I'm pretty sure this is what that's made for. But it seems to be a little more of a shimmer, not a true glitter. Like the Nikita palette has those true glitter ones that you do need the cut crease cream for, but I'm just gonna try it. I like this, I think it's cute, so. And I like sparkles. Oh, okay, yeah, so I'm putting it on. It's just a loose glitter. It's like a multi-dimensional glitter, which is nice. So I'm just gonna put this over the top of everything, and then that'll just give it a nice sparkly quality. Do that. Yeah, that's cute. And because I have to check myself sometimes, because I've already blended all this and I like it, what I do when I'm adding in a shimmer over is I just go from corner here and not rub back and forth. I just go swipe, swipe, not a rub. That makes sense. Oh, just did it, caught myself. Just adds a little bit of fun. My mom is about to turn 60. And she's so funny. Like, she doesn't like to spend a lot of money on things, which is, I mean, it's fine. But she complains, she's like, oh, I can't wear the eyeshadow anymore because they're all shimmery and I don't look good with shimmers because it gets in my wrinkles and highlights my wrinkles. And so I try to like explain, I'm like, you need to use like these products to make sure that that doesn't happen. She just like very old school drugstore, like this is my, like she doesn't use a primer, like she puts this foundation just like straight out the gate, like puts on, which is how we all used to do it before YouTube was a thing. I mean, I'm not, nothing against it, but it's so funny because she'll be like, it just doesn't look good, and I try to give her tips, and she's like, no, that wouldn't work for me, and I'm like, okay, whatever, girl. Okay, so this is kind of where we're at. So you can see I have the dark, the light, and then I put the glitter over, and then I'm not gonna put the mint all the way up to my brow bone. I mean, that would be crazy. Look how big that's a big space. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my normal just highlight shadow, and I'm gonna put it up here and kind of blend it all together. Okay, so change the color out. This is also one I got in my BoxyCharm Huda Beauty. It's the face and eye palette. So this is supposed to be your highlighter, but I have been using it as my eye highlighter as well. So that's what I'm gonna use for this. And it ties into the glitter shimmer that I just put on. So try this out. Ooh. And I know I've said in past videos, there are people that say that you should put this on first, the shimmer part on first. I don't think it looks good. I've tried it many times. This is how I do it. It's my face. So I'm just gonna put this, and I put it from here to here. And then I'm gonna put it, make sure it gets in the corners really nice and up. Okay. So that's the basis of the eyeshadow look. And some of you are like, that's not really okay. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna go get some Q-tips and stuff so I can do the next part. Okay, we're back. Until with Coco. She's in my lap the whole time I'm doing this, just if that helps with the cuteness factor at all. Okay, so next I'm gonna use my liquid liner. Hi. Your breast smells so bad. I ran out of the greenies that I give her, and the store, every time I go, the store doesn't have any. So, I don't know. Okay, Coco, I need you to sit down though, because I can't do this with you. Can you lay down? Coco, lay down. Lay down. Her head is like right where I need to put for the thing, and can you at least like turn? Okay. 1 second. Boop. Boop. Much better. Okay. So I'm using, she's like, what was that? I'm using the Stila. I know some people say they're good, not good, whatever. I like it, honestly. I don't have a problem using it. I actually got this from my mom because the one time we did go to Ulta together, she was like, what do I get? And I told her, I was like, this is really good. We used it in my product runway look. It was awesome. And she was like, okay, she got it. And she was like, I can't make it come out. And I was like, and I watched her do it. I was like, I don't think you're actually touching it to your eye. Like, so I actually, in my BoxyCharm, they sent two, like a brown and a black of the pencil, like the old school pencil ones with a sharpener. And she loves those, and she hates that she can't find them hardly ever. So I gave them to her because I was like, I don't use a pencil, I use a liquid. So you can have these, girl. And she's been using them, so I'm like kind of proud of her. But, okay. So, can you see what I do? I feel like that's better. Okay, we'll try this angle. So I'm basically, what I do is I do not go corner to corner. Do not. What I do is I go from lash line to corner. So that's what I'm gonna do here. And I just kind of get as close as I can to my lashes and put down a good base. In the lash line, get it, kind of smudge that in. And then next what I do, where is it? I don't do intricate wings or anything with this. Like, I'm not gonna draw a wing and fill it in, hardly ever. What I do is, I was about to say what I do, and then it was like a quote from The Office. Anyways, is I take a dark powder and I fill it in and smudge it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that navy that I talked about earlier, because we're using blues. It's like the mint greens, but it has a little blue in it. So I think the navy liner on top of the black would look really pretty. So I'm gonna use, it's called Panda Painter. I almost said Panda Panther, and I was like, I don't think that's right. So I'm just gonna take my angle brush, kind of load that in, blow out the excess, and then I'm gonna go over what I just did and kind of make it look smudgy. And then I'm also, because I want a wing, I'm gonna go up. Oh, I did this wrong. I did this wrong. Okay, I can fix it though. We're not too far in. I went up and got my Q-tips and everything, like totally forgot. Okay, so I use this. It's almost empty, but this is a great makeup remover. I mean, it is phenomenal. It's a Garnier Skin Active Micellar. I always want to say microcellular. I know that's not right. Micellar water, whatever. Q-tip. Don't drip it on the puppy. That's in my lap. And then basically what I'm gonna do, see this excess? Because like I'm a 90s kid and we didn't do sharp wings. Basically how I apply my makeup is this round. But as I've gotten older, because I'm 32, I was at Whole Foods today getting like a few things. And don't judge it, Whole Foods is like right around the corner from me. I typically shop at H-E-B or Kroger, but I didn't feel like driving 15 minutes to get there. So I just went around the corner for like a few things to Whole Foods. There's this one dude there, his name is Caesar. He's always really nice to me, and today I bought wine, and so I had to show him my ID, and he goes, "You're 32?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I thought you were like 22. I was like, "Oh my God, thank you." I was like, "I am definitely not." I was like, it's been 10 years since I was 22, which is crazy to say. But anyways, so our eyeshadow, if you look at anything of Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, even Kim Kardashian knows kind of did a wing, but like they had those crazy colors, like the blues and everything. And then they would go around and it would be the round kind of shape, and they would like kind of fill in here. That's what us millennials kind of learned how to do, but we're getting older, so you don't want to have anything point down, right? The whole like wing look in now, I really like, because what I can now create is going from, I learned this on TikTok from Michaela, you want to go from the bottom corner of your eye and then up to your point of your eyebrow. So that's what I've started doing. I don't worry about getting it with the tape and then this. I just go in my Q-tip after. We were like, oh, the waste of the Q-tip and this and that. If you put the tape on, it's like you're throwing something away anyways, you know? So that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna take this excess round off and I'm gonna go and kind of follow that line right here. So anytime you create a wing, just follow that line. And then that gives you a good, and see how it kind of carries the color with it? That's okay, because we're gonna cover it up with the liner. I'm gonna do it on this side. And I don't know why, maybe it's because I'm right-handed and this is my left eye, but I always do. Everything is like always heavier on this eye. Like, so I always have to be really careful and kind of balance it out. Okay, so did that. Now I'm gonna go back where is it? With my angled brush. This has kind of dried a little bit. Hopefully we can still get the same effect, but I've loaded this brush up and we're gonna go and I'm gonna smudge it in here, and then I'm also gonna smudge it in here and up, right? Just a little bit. So do that. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna talk about boys for a second. I say boys, I'm 32. They're men, but they act like boys. It's so ridiculous. I was supposed to have a date yesterday. If you follow me on TikTok. I was supposed to have a date yesterday, and I was kind of making fun on Thursday night. Yesterday was Friday, so Thursday night I was kind of making fun of all the ridiculous things men have said to me in 2020, because now it's 2021. And I was kind of making fun of it because these boys have said, my last makeup video, you'll see like, I was talking about it more in depth and stuff, and it was kind of depressing, so I was like hesitant to post it, but I think I will. So that will come out before this one comes out, but I kind of did like a funny recap of, you know, Amy Poehler in Parks and Rec when like Anne and Chris break up, but then Anne didn't realize and went to Indianapolis, and like they do a montage on the way back of Leslie saying all the bad ways someone broke up with her. So I did one of those on TikTok. I thought it was funny. But then that night, this dude that I was supposed to go on a date with, I mean, I don't even know what to say about what he said to me. It was like so crazy. So like oh yeah, see how it like, okay, so we have the black that went in, and then I rubbed the dark blue, and then I made a wing. So I'm just gonna fill this in a little more and make it a little darker. But see how it's nice and subtle? It's not that harsh black against the nice mint that we made. So I like this. I think it's gonna be good. But basically, he asked me out, right? So he asked me out for Friday night. And then I was kind of on Thursday, like still didn't have a time and a place, and I was like, hey, where are we meeting? What are we doing? What time? Basic questions, right? Rub that out because that got a little crazy. Actually, I need a little bit of water, and I don't want to use my spit because that's very unhygienic. But basically, I was like, hey, what are we doing? What time? This and that. And he was like, so you can always use water. Dip your brush in a little bit of water. Just a little bit. And that'll give you a more, because I don't like how it's not like as defined as I want it. So I'm just gonna dip that in a little bit of water. When I was much younger, I used to just dip it in I would put it in my mouth and spit on it a little bit. Like, that's what I did. But that's not hygienic, so we're not gonna do that on YouTube. Just kidding. But yeah, so he was like, okay, where do you wanna go? I want to go. I want you to be a man and pick it out, dude. Like, you asked me out. And before men come in my comments and are like, well, blah, blah, blah. Like, if I ask a dude, if I want to go do something with a dude, I'm like, hey, I want to go get a burger. Do you want to go to a burger joint with me? Cool, meet me here at, like, this time. Like, you know, I don't think it's too much to ask. If the person who asked the other person out, so plan the date. Like, I don't think that's too much to ask. So you can see here, like, we have a wing a little bit. It's kind of, the way my eye is shaped, it kind of dipped a little bit, but when you look straight on, and I have the lashes on, you're not really gonna see that, right? But see how it goes here and here, and it kind of, even from split in half, like, this is looking a lot more snatched than this side, which I love that term, snatched. Just like snatched. But yeah, I'm like, so I'm basically just gonna do the same thing on this side. But yeah, he was like, where do you want to go? And I was like, you can pick. I was like, I just go to the same 3 places all the time, so I'd like to go somewhere new you can pick. And he picked out a bar, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'm cool with that. Nothing special, just kind of like a typical Houston bar. Like, it has a little, it wants to have a divey vibe, but it's very like hipster. It's not too bro-y. Like, there's one bar that one of my exes goes to all the time. I'm like, oh, it's so bro-y. So I've had guys, like, after I broke up with this dude, be like, oh, do you want to go to so-and-so? And I'm like, no. My ex is going to be there. It's way too bro-y for me anyways. I was like, no. But yeah, so then I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll meet you there. That's perfectly fine. It's like 10 minutes from my house. It wasn't a big deal. And then I was like, what time? So that prompts him to call me. On this phone call, y'all, I cannot. He cussed the entire time, which I cuss. I don't have a thing against curse words. But every other word was a cuss word. And he was like, oh, shit, fuck, whatever, like this and that. And I was just like, okay. And then he goes, well, I'm gonna be real tired. He had a physical job. Like, he's a lineman, I guess, like electrical. He puts up power poles, which is fine. My dad was an electrician for several years. I have nothing against people that, do more manual labor as their job. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know what his deal was. He was like, I'm gonna be real tired though tomorrow, so I guess I can meet you out there. Yeah. I'm like, I was like, okay, well, if tomorrow doesn't work for you, that's fine. He's like, no, I'll meet you out there. I'll be tired. Like, don't expect a lot. And I was like, oh, okay. Hung up, and I was like, you asked me out, and you suggested Friday. You're 35, and you know what your job is. Like, you know that you do manual labor. Like, physical, you have a physical job. And then you're gonna be like, so he already set up an out, which I did not like. I don't like that. He already set up an out to say, oh, hey girl, yeah, I'm real sorry, but like, can we reschedule, like, yeah, I'm just so tired. He set it up. Oh, I didn't think about this. He set it up to be like, oh, sorry, I got home, like, stand me up at this bar. Which actually would have been fine with, because I probably could have used that to my advantage. Can you imagine, like, showing up for a date, full face of makeup, realize he's not coming, and throwing around that sob story everywhere and being like, he didn't show up, I don't get it. Like, I could have worked with that. Sounds terrible. But yeah, so he was like kind of rude on the phone. Just the way he was speaking didn't sound that intelligent. I don't know a nice way to say it. He just sounded dumb on the phone, and I don't know if it's because of the excessive cussing, but it was just like, it was just rude. It was rude, for sure. He was definitely rude on the phone. I was trying to be like upbeat and positive and stuff. And then I was just like, okay, cool. Well, later that night, he like texts me and stuff, and it's going okay. It's not like the best conversation in the world, but I was kind of like thinking, I was like, oh, I'll meet him anyways. Even though the phone call gave me a bad vibe, I'll meet him anyways. As soon as someone gives you a bad vibe, it's okay to dip. It's okay to be like, this isn't for me, bye. As soon as you owe a man nothing. As soon as a man gives you a bad vibe, it's okay to cancel. I met him on Hinge. Like, I owe him nothing. I've never met, this was gonna be our first date. Like, it's okay, but like in my head I was like, oh, I already said yes, like I'll just go anyways. Like, our text conversation is like better, blah, blah, blah. After he was already kind of rude to me, like a bit, but I'm glad I canceled because this was the next part of the conversation and I just shouldn't have answered him in the first place. He texts me and he's like, hey, what you cooking for dinner tonight? Which I like to cook. Y'all know I cook a lot on this channel. That's mainly what my video content has been so far, is cooking. And I like to learn new recipes. I like to, you know, cook for people. Like if I have friends coming over, like I'll cook something. I don't mind cooking for a boyfriend. I've done it many times. What I don't like is when that becomes expected. When a man comes over to my home, because I'm single, I live alone, and it's expected that I cook for him. So I'm just gonna tap in with my stubby brush a bit more of that blue to kind of try to even it out, because I can never get them quite even. So I'm just gonna try to tap in. I'm not gonna like go into my crease. I'm just gonna, on this wing line, kind of tap it in to make it a little thicker on both sides. Is when it's expected. And what happened was, like when cooking is expected as, oh, woman that can cook, like we all know what I'm talking, we all know that vibe. Like if he's interested in cooking too, and it's like, oh, oh yeah, I make it and I use this recipe. Yeah, that's totally cool. But the way he asked was just like oh, good, a woman that can cook. And then he goes, oh, I was like, well, no, I'm like eating leftovers. I typically cook Sunday, and then I do as my meal prep, and then I just eat the leftovers the rest of the week. And he goes, oh, sounds like I'm coming over Sunday. And I was like, no, you're not. And this is one of my other big pet peeves is, do not, yes, Coco, can I help you? Can I help you? Just, ma'am, what was that? What was that? Oh my goodness. What was that? What I don't like is when, and it's happened several times in the past year, of guys just assuming they can come over to my house anytime they want, right? So I was dating a guy who, and y'all can be like, he was just kidding. He wasn't. I know he wasn't by the end of the story. I had a dude. Okay, so I'm done with my eyes. You notice I'm not putting on mascara, because what I do is I put on lashes last and I curl lashes, then mascara. So this is gonna be what I look like for the rest of the video until I put lashes on. So then next I'm ready for face. So I'm gonna do my primer, which I obviously need to get more of. It's the Urban Decay All Nighter, and it's my favorite. But yeah, so I had a dude, he was taking a computer class, and it was 5 days a week. It was like one of those like boot camp things where it's like 3 months, 9 weeks, whatever, how many weeks it was with us, and then you have the certificate type thing. And so, but the campus was being held in a building that was near my apartment, and he lived in Clear Lake, and so it was all virtual at first. And it's like, yeah, they're gonna have us come back in July, so I'll be spending the nights with you during the week. And I was just like, you can, and I literally looked at him and was like, excuse me? And he goes, yeah, I'll be spending the night, because it's like close, so I'll spend the night with you during the week, and then I'll just go to class. And I was just, meanwhile, I met him end of January. This is not like it was a long relationship. I met him end of January. We started dating end of January. So this is like April when he tells me this. So I've known him 2 months. I'm letting it set. It needs to get sticky. That's why I'm like not doing anything. I've known this dude 2 months, and he tells me he's gonna spend starting in July, which means I would know him 5 months, he's gonna spend 5 nights a week in my house because it's close to his school. Didn't ask, basically just told me, hey, I'm coming over and that, and I was like, I just looked at him, I was like, dude, you can like spend a night or 2 a week, but you can't stay. I was like, I have things to do. I have like social obligations. I have like, and he was like, oh, well, if it's like a thing about food, I can pitch in grocery money. No, I am an only child and I've been living on my own consistently since I was 24. I'm 32. I don't want you in my house. Like, I don't know you. Like, yeah, I'll clean out a drawer for you and you can spend the night here a night or 2 a week, but you're not moving into my home 5 days a week. And he got offended. And I was like, why would you think it's okay to invite yourself into my home? So I get kind of, that's one of my pet peeves. And it happened a couple different times with different guys after I broke up with that dude. I had another guy, we've been on 1 date. And he goes, oh, I just want to come over and cuddle. What's your address? I'll come over. He had been doing Sunday Fun Day. And he's like, oh, let me come over and cuddle. We'll watch movies. And I was like, no, I have work tomorrow. He goes, I don't, and I was like, I don't care that tomorrow is your day off. Tomorrow I have to work. You're not coming over to my home drunk at 5 p.m. when I have like a game night planned with my friends online. I was like, no. And he was like, the next morning, he was like, oh, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but it's not okay though. Like, why are you inviting, just saying like, I'm coming over? This isn't your house, dude. This is my house and I pay for it. Like, you're coming over when you're invited, right? So this dude, certainly back to this, text chain, this dude's already digging a hole with me. And I'm like, and I just kind of played it off as a joke. I was like, the wet beauty blender, and then I'm using the Lancome as my foundation because I love it. And then we do our war paint. But yeah, I was just like, oh, whatever. And I was kind of like, that was kind of an off-putting thing of like, oh, I guess I'm coming over Sunday. It's like, no, you're not. Like, I don't know you, dude. I haven't even met you though. Like, which, okay, some of you could be like, if it was one thing, be like, that was an innocuous joke. Like, it was fine, which is key to knowing the difference between, did someone just kind of make a joke that made you uncomfortable and you're projecting, or did they just like, they're a human being and they stuck their foot in their mouth, or is this a pattern of behavior? And so that's what I always try to discern, is like, is it a pattern of behavior that I'm not going to be happy with, or is going to be hurtful to me, or was it just a dumb joke and like, you can, laugh it off or whatever. So I was kind of like, phone call, and then he makes that comment, and I'm like, okay. So then we're still talking, and it was fine. It wasn't like the best conversation I've ever had, but like, it's not the worst conversation I've ever had until. So I am putting, because I'm in my 30s and have bad allergies, I'm putting a lot of concealer under my eyes, and I am using Neutrogena Hydro Boost. It has the hyaluronic acid in the center. That's what that stick is in the center. So I find that it helps my under eye stay moisturized throughout the day so it doesn't look wrinkly. So now I'm going to take my beauty blender and just blend it all in. But yeah, so we were talking and stuff, and he randomly asked me my star sign. And I was like, he's like, I'm a Gemini. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, I'm a Scorpio, because I am. And I don't give a lot of stock to astrology until people make fun of or do descriptions of Scorpios. I'm like, that's my entire personality. Probably something to that. Or I say something like really savage and I'm like, oh, yep, that was me. I'm a Scorpio. So anyways, he asked me my star sign. I say I'm a Scorpio. Then he proceeds to say, isn't philosophy so interesting? To which I say, astrology question mark LOL. Because where's philosophy coming into this? I was like, philosophy? You just asked me my star sign, bro. Like, I'm like, is he trying to change the subject without telling me he's changing the subject? So then he goes, no, philosophy, don't you think it's so interesting? And I was still like, yeah, I guess. And then he goes, do you know what that word means, philosophy? Which my cousin, who's my same age, he's like a couple months younger than me, can very much tell you my biggest do not do is imply that I'm stupid. Because that got him punched when we were 12 in the arm at Minority Report when we were seeing it in theaters, when he goes, do you think you understand the plot? And I went, I was like, did you say to me? Yes, I understand the plot. That's the rudest question you can ever ask. Why are you assuming I'm dumb? Why are you assuming I don't know something? It's okay to ask someone and be like, hey, do you know how to do something? Hey, do you, but never assume, me especially, it's my pet peeve, that I don't know what I'm talking about, or that I just automatically can't understand something. Yeah, I know what philosophy is. I watched The Good Place. I was just like, and I typed back, I was like, ... yes. And he goes, he basically was like, oh, okay, what does it mean? And if this had been an in-person conversation, he very much could have seen, and I've been like, it means this. With a look of death of shut up before I go off on you. And then he goes, so I sent him back and I was like, it's the learning of the knowledge, language, blah, blah, blah. It's basically like learning. Philosophy means knowledge, learning. You know, there's a very specific definition, which I sent him. But yeah, it's like, you know what philosophy is. A lot of us took it in college. So then he goes, no, that's not it. And I was like, bitch, I double checked myself on Wikipedia. What do you mean that's not it? And he goes, philia means love, which I know. And then he goes, for example, Philadelphia means the city of brotherly love, which is true. However, not a, great example. I feel like everybody knows that. That's like a common knowledge thing. So I was just like, yeah, okay. And he goes, so philosophy means the love of what? And I was like, it means the love, I was like, in its basic form, it's the love of learning and the love of knowledge. And he goes, exactly. And I was like, oh, what in the hell? So then he sends me, so then I typed back and I was like, anyways, ... to try to get him to realize, like, he's being rude and he needs to stop. He didn't. He goes, he sends me a screenshot of that AI thing, whatever, that AI robot that looks like a sex robot, honestly. Sorry, it does. Okay, so next I'm gonna do my lazy girl contouring. So I'm gonna take my contour stick and I'm basically gonna do my cheeks, my jaw, and the C of my hairline. And remember, we always go up, go up. You wanna look snatched. Because women, as we age, our face falls down and we need to put it back up. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix that. I got a little low here, but I can fix that, that's fine. Why don't we put it there, and there, and then we put it here, and here. and I look crazy. So I'm gonna take my foundation brush and just rub this in. So he sends me this and he goes, yes, exactly. He goes, and then what's the last part of it mean? But he sends me this robot whose name is Sophia because she's AI, and Sophia means wise or wisdom. To which I said that. I was like, Sophia means wise, wisdom. So I'm over it at this point. And I'm about to be like, oh no, I can't go out. I'm just not feeling this. Sorry, I'm gonna cancel for tomorrow text. Kind of break it off a little nicely. And then he hits me back. Or no, he says good night, right? He says good night. And then he ends it with a, see, I knew you would like to learn something new. I knew you would like to learn. You didn't teach me anything, bro, other than the fact that you're a dick. That's all you taught me. Assuming that I don't know something, and then assuming that you have now taught me something over text when we've never met is probably one of the rudest things I've had a guy say to me, and I've had guys say some crazy things in a while, because you're just trying to prove that you're smarter than me, but you're also going to test my knowledge. Like, oh, I'm a smart girl, but she can't be smarter than me. I have to be able to teach her something. Who cares? Like, I don't get it. But then also, one of two things I think really happened was he said the wrong thing when he goes, isn't a philosophy interesting? And I hit back with astrology, LOL, question mark. Because he asked me about my star sign, which precipitated this entire conversation. So now I have corrected him in a joking way. I mean, I thought, I wasn't like, actually, you mean this. I was like, hey, LOL, question mark. Trying to be like, isn't that what you meant? Because I'm a woman, that's how we've been taught to do things. I'm just kind of like blending this out a bit more so it's not like so defined, my contour. And then next I'm going to do my blush. But yeah, so you either felt threatened or were trying to make yourself feel smarter by switching it up and trying to recover and be like, oh, but do you actually know what philosophy means? So I'm using this cream. It's called, what is this? I got it forever ago. This is Captive Color Cosmetics. It's their Rose Jelly Highlighter and Blush. It's a combo. I'm gonna tap this on. Oh, I got a lot on. Oh, I got a lot on. So either you're trying to make yourself feel smarter and like, oh, she didn't just correct me, or you, in the middle of a conversation, decided to change the subject, and then when I was kind of like, wait, what? That's when you pounced and decided to make me feel like I'm stupid. So I'm already like, after this whole thing kind of started going, I was like, I'm not going out with this dude. Like, this is not worth the drink that I'm gonna get, you know? The water and the place that he picked, I was like, the drinks aren't that good anyways. I was like, this is not worth it. So I'm already like gonna cancel on him. And then he hits me back with a very condescending, like, I knew you would like to learn something new. So I sent him a paragraph. I was like, I'm done. I have absolutely no interest anymore in hanging out tomorrow or meeting. I was like, this last text exchange was so rude. I was like, why are you trying to make me feel dumb? I was like, that's exactly what you're trying to do. You were trying to make it be like, oh, I'm so smart, look at me. Why? I was like, why are you trying to do that? That's so rude. And some of you are gonna be like, oh, I sent those screenshots around. I was like, am I wrong here? Like, am I the crazy? And all my friends were like, dump him, block him, do not. They were like, do not. And I was like, yeah, okay. Because like sometimes, you know, you go out and you're like, oh, maybe that. And I was just like, you know, I'd back up. Which I didn't need. Like, he already made me feel uncomfortable and feel a certain way. I didn't want to go out with him anymore, and that's perfectly fine. But this is the thing that I think some girls need to learn is just because a guy asks you out, that doesn't mean you have to go out with him. You know? Like, to go out with a man that thinks it's okay to talk to you like that is not okay. Because if he's doing that, we hadn't even met yet. We hadn't even met yet. So if he thinks it's okay to speak to me like that when we haven't even met, what is he gonna think it's okay to say to me 6 months from now? What is he gonna think it's okay to say to me 10 years into a marriage, right? What they do on the first date precipitates the rest of the relationship. So if he's a dick to you on the first date, he's gonna be a horrible dick to you when you're married. Like, you know, and I know a lot of girls that think, oh, he asked me out, I better go out. And it's like, no, don't go out with someone who's mean to you. Like, I don't. And then also, men, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand the major malfunction to where you think, and then you need to unload all of your issues and the chip on your shoulder on another person. Like, I don't get it. It was. So yeah, I stayed home with my dog last night, drank some wine, and ate some good food that I cooked. And it was awesome. Okay, so I just put highlighter on here. I know that it's a jelly blush highlighter blend, but whatever. This is a little uneven because I was talking while I was putting it on. I'm gonna tap that out, make it a little more even. There we go, got it. Okay, so the next to last step I do is I'm gonna take a little bit of bronzer, not a lot, and I'm going to put it here, here, and then here. Which some of you are like, you just put highlighter on, but this kind of gives you that soft sun-kissed look. So it just kind of makes you look like you're not a dead Victorian child after you just put all this makeup on, right? And it's just kind of where the sun hits you is where you want to put it for that kind of sun-kissed glow. Okay, so last thing I'm gonna do, next to last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my highlight stick and I'm going to just highlight my brow bones once again. That way they're nice and defined. And I'm doing here and here. And then just a little bit in the corner because we put the concealer on. Okay, so then next I'm gonna take this brush. I'm gonna brush out my eyebrows. Thank God, like good eyebrows are in, thick eyebrows are in. I mean, those 2000s, they were so skinny, and I know so many girls that would just pluck them within an inch of their, like, not having any. And I never did, because it hurt. So, and I mean, look at these things. Like, could you imagine trying to pluck these any skinnier? I'd be here for days, A, and B, oh, it would hurt so bad. Okay, so what I did, I brushed them out and then I put my clear mascara over them. This is $3. It's the e.l.f. clear mascara. This is what I use to set my brows. there's specific ones for brows, but they're like $12, $15, and I'm like, the e.l.f. clear mascara is the same thing. So that's what I use. Okay, so all that's done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my setting spray. I use the Urban Decay All Nighter. And I use twice the recommended amount. My lashes are in the drawer and my puppy is on my lap, so I had to. Okay, so next thing I do is lashes. So I've used these before, but I cleaned them off when I took them off. So I get about 2 to 3 wears, depending, out of my lashes. Also, it's a pandemic, so I only wear them like a couple hours at a time. It's not like I'm wearing them for a full, put them on at 6:30 a.m. and go until like 9 o'clock at night. I'm sure if I was doing that, I would replace them, do new ones every time, but okay. So let's get into this. But yeah, this dude, so I sent him this paragraph. Oh, I didn't close this all the way last time. Ooh. It's still okay, I guess. But yeah, like I sent him that paragraph and then I blocked him. And some of you are gonna be like, oh, that's so mean. Why would you do that? And it's like, you basically just ghosted him. No, I didn't. I told him exactly. I was like, I'm putting the glue on. I told him exactly how he made me feel and exactly what I thought, and I said I will not be continuing this. And then I blocked him because I didn't care what he had to say. I didn't care what he had to say. He showed me who he was. And conversely, I showed him who I was. I don't take that shit. I give the same energy I get. So if you're gonna be mean to me, I'll be mean to you right back. I don't start it, but I'll finish it type thing. Like I don't, say what you want about that, but so yeah, like I was like, I don't care what he has to say. He was rude, he was mean, he was condescending, and there was no need for it. So yeah, I blocked him. And I blocked him on the dating app. And I feel like girls need to normalize that, because the amount of times when I've broken up, one of the last guys I broke up with, they were like, oh, it sounds like he was just having like a mental health breakdown and this and that. And I was like, yeah. That doesn't mean he gets to be mean to me though. I was like, he said this, and this to me. And he asked me to come and clean his house for him twice. And when I explained to him why I wouldn't and couldn't, because I needed to take care of my own stuff, I needed to meal prep, I need to get ready for the week. And then he dismissed all that and said I should have done that during the week because I worked from home, and he dismissed my job, which I work 40 to 50 hours a week. Like I can't, I was supposed to clean my entire house and do all my laundry because I work from home, when he was taking a class from home and he's asking me to help him clean on the weekends. And I was like, no, I was talking to this girl and I was like, no. I was like, if he was nice to me, I was like, I owe him nothing. I've known him 4 months of my life. But specifically, like, I don't care that he was having anxiety. I have anxiety too, and I'm not mean to people. I was like, he doesn't get to talk to me like that. Like, I don't care that you're, I was like, I'm in my 30s. I'm not going to stay with a guy to stay with a guy. Like, if he's going to be mean to me, I'm out. And conversely, guys, the same thing. Like, if a girl is being, like, rude and mean to you, why are you staying? Like, I don't get it. Like, people stay with people for the craziest reasons, and it's just like, they're mean to you. Why are you staying? Because I don't get it. I don't get it. Put my lash on. First try. So excited. This is the real test. The second one. But yeah, I'm like, what? It's okay to be single, and I feel like people stay in relationships because they're scared of being by themselves. They're scared of being lonely. But the person they're with is a trash monster. Like, I might be rambling. I don't care. I would rather be happy and alone than with someone and miserable. You know, I'm not alone, I am Coco. But yeah, I mean, and I say girls because I am a woman, and I know that that's kind of our value is tied to if we're married and this and that. But this applies no matter, you know, your orientation, your gender, whatever. The same kind of principle applies. Like, don't stay with someone who's mean to you. And if they're mean or bitchy to you before you even meet, why are you going out with them? You don't owe anybody anything. Like, I didn't owe that dude a date, so I didn't go out with him. Simple as that. I was like, if you're gonna speak to me this way before we've even met, how are you gonna speak to me in a year from now if this goes somewhere? And that's how I kind of judge things in relationships now. I'm like, okay, is this something I can tolerate 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years down the line? And should I have to? And firstly, I'm sure some of my exes are like, oh, she just said this and did this and blah, blah, blah. I'm not perfect. I'm sure I did say something bitchy. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did do something that offended you because I'm a human being. But at the same time, we have to ask ourselves, what can we live with for the rest of our lives? A man intentionally trying to make me feel stupid on purpose, clearly, is not something I will tolerate. That cousin that I told you about who asked me about Minority Report if I understood the plot when we went and saw it, I think it was like 29, and he goes, yeah, you're a lot more like fun to get along, or we get along a lot more now that you're older. And I was like, or now that we're older. And I was like, yeah, you stop trying to make yourself seem smarter than me. You stop trying to prove to yourself that you're smarter than me. Like, we can just have conversations now without you like being rude. And he just laughed. He goes, yeah, I used to do that a lot. And even his wife was like, she's pretty quiet. And even she was like, you know. So, I mean, and I don't care. Like, I'm like, I don't have to be the smartest person in a room, but I definitely don't appreciate, oh my gosh, stick. I got both on so easily. The first time. Y'all, what a mint green miracle. Oh my goodness. Okay, so one final thing that we're gonna do, I keep gasping and Coco's like looking up at me like, what? She's like, what's going on, Mom? Yeah, okay, so this one just needs to kind of settle into my lash line a little bit. Okay, so last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my angled brush again, and I don't like, so see when you get close, it's like when a guy gets close to you, because you're gonna make out, and he can see this line. I don't like that. So what I do is I take that angled brush, get the same color that I did my liner with, kind of blow it out, and we'll do, and we're just gonna kind of like rub it in at the edge of the lashes. That way you don't really, You can still see it, and I know you can still see it, but like when you're a little farther away, you can't, right? Okay, so we're gonna do that. And then the absolute last thing we're gonna do is a little bit of mascara. So what this does is this is gonna put your own lashes into the fake lashes and kind of make it all look, because right now, if you look, you can't really see it, but you can kind of see my lashes and then my fake lashes. So doing this kind of combs them together and then gives you a little more definition. So I'm gonna do that. And that's it. Oh my gosh, mint green dream. So that's my finished makeup look. So let me know what you think. I think it's really pretty. I love the Huda Mint palettes. Pastels Mint, highly recommend. This is good quality. Good quality shadows. My first one from this brand, the Huda Beauty. So I love it. I think it's great. I think this look came out really, really pretty. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do this in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and listening to me complain about men. Till next time.